Hey, GutFoxx here. Today I want to do a video on if the pass game is overpowered, underpowered, or just about right in Madden 18. I'm going to take a look at another video on QB scrambling. I'll link my running game video in the other one. That was kind of a weird handoff, but that was a play action and misfire. So thanks to Cookie Boy, Forward Progress Madden, K, and QJB for the footage. They were down there at the capture event, and we'll talk about that in a little bit as we get into why these things don't look maybe as good, because a lot of people are complaining about these zones not playing so well, and I'm going to break down why that is, why they're complaining, and show what could be changed in the future, what they're planning on doing, and whatnot. Alright, so all these passes so far, pretty standard here, throwing it up into cover 3. Big whoop. I don't know if you guys saw that screen, but that got snuffed out pretty well too. This is a play I really want to break down. This is a lot of why people say they're not playing so great. Now watch this slant in and this linebacker. Now, that was Zach Brown, it looked like. He's an elite defender. Now, watch this pump fake. Nobody on defense bites on the pump fake. That's kind of funny. But watch how long it takes this defender in zone coverage to break on this pass. Now, right here, I think I freeze framed right before he breaks. So the ball's about halfway there, and the defender still hasn't broken on the pass. So there it is. The receiver is able to catch it because the guy breaks late. But Rex Dixon said on Twitter, this was actually asking about out routes, but now he says elite defenders just break on the throw quicker than what you played at the capture event, which is this footage is from, makes a big difference. So when you saw that Brown wasn't breaking on the ball very quick, Rex said they tuned it, make them break a little bit quicker. He also put out something else to help ease our mind about the pass game. Now this July 31st pass game tweet, 168 yards were gained on average per game for human pass yards. So that's not a whole lot. And that's why I'm not as concerned about the pass game, because it really punishes people for bad reads. But I'm more concerned about the run game and QB scrambling than anything else. They're nice. I like when players, like Madden 17, there's like a 50-50 chance that gets intercepted. Or sorry, knocked out, not intercepted. But a QB misses a throw. QB throws perfectly zone. Now that looked like hard flat, so that was a perfectly fine read. Because they played the game low. This is one thing I want to point out. You're like, oh man, he was wide open at the goal line. Watch the flat defender. Now, if he was going an arrow route, that flat defender played it perfectly, but it was, oh sorry, that was an arrow route. If he went on a table route there, this is another one that's like, what the heck is up with that safety? Looks like he took a bad position on that, but watch it again. I think the user just clicked on and went the wrong way here. Like, it looks like it was in the play position, but then the user hit X, Y right before and just couldn't get an animation. Now, the lack of animation, maybe that wasn't the user's fault. Maybe he had the right, button input, and then I've had that problem in 17, not getting animation. So that could be completely a problem too. Not triggering those two-man animations is a good way to get frustrated at the game. This is, I think, maybe a problem. Now watch this middle linebacker. He's not able to keep up with, I think this is Mike Evans, so it makes sense that a middle linebacker would get burned, but I don't like how he's strafing there. He really should be running with his hips turned before that play. So that is another instance of zone coverage playing pretty crappy. So the YouTubers that said the zone coverage isn't playing that good, you gotta test the people you gotta trust the people that have played the game. Even though, people back at EA Play said the zones played perfectly. The only thing I worry about them tuning up these zones is that we already see that the run game is very, very powerful based on all the stretches and great runs that we see. I'm just concerned that the pass game is not going to be very good. Now, that wasn't a great read because that was man coverage on a curl and he threw it late. If he threw that right on the break, that's a completion, more than likely. Unless that was cover 2, I'd have to go back and look. Really should have. There's man coverage getting toasted by drag routes. I love that. I hate when man coverage is just locked down, especially on drag routes and routes meant to beat man coverage. It looks like man coverage does play C routes better. That was a cover 2, and man, he threw right to him. I do like the punishment of bad reads like that. That's perfect, but I don't like these. If we're going to get super defenders that play this pass ridiculously well. Now, Cookie Boy ran this this wide receiver screen a bunch. I like that. It's very effective. It's going to help take off a little bit of Madden 17's edge blitzes. Like, wide receiver screens were very good against them. Here's another one up the seam. Now, this might be a problem or what you want to go to a lot against cover 2, 3, that stop and go. There's cover 3 up the seams, it looked like. Again, that's where you want to break on them. Another slant underneath, slant over top. Now, this is the funkiest. I guess you'd call that a dot. Is that the zone's not playing well? And then the cornerback getting shook by a tight end? I don't know if I call that a dot so much as maybe just chuck it and pray, because we've seen a few of those get picked off by the defenders. So that was just more luck than anything. That's something I'm fine with. The user was right there, just didn't make a play on it. It does look like they've nerfed users because I'm not seeing the insane animations that I saw in like 17. So that's something to definitely look out for. Up the seams against cover 3. That's a perfectly fine one. I love that the receiver hung on to that even though he takes a hit. There again, up the seam, but that was kind of a user mess up than anything else, so we can't really take too much out of that one. Deep, so deep, put her ass to sleep. Throw it, and we are going to spec catch over him. Now, we don't know what button the defender put in there. That could have been a Y press, so seeing him catching over a Y press is totally fine. We're going to see the counter to that. Oh, god dang. Who says zones don't play? Who says zones don't play? Dominique Rogers-Cromartie is the anti-evidence to zones not playing very well. All right, we're going to chuck it again. See how ass deep we can get here, and what? Nope. Love it. Interception. So that's why I think Madden 18 is going to be a very turnover heavy game. That's why I said in my coach tuning suggestions you should put everything on aggressive, because you're going to basically intercept. Now this is a very concerning play to me about the zones. Now I know it was an incompletion, but watch this cover 3 corner here. The far right. He's playing cover 3 and the safeties got that far side, and he got a lot of room on the sideline there. That's more than I feel like he should be. If he's the only receiver on that side of the ball, he should play tighter to the receiver, even though it was, a streak route. But that might be a coding error that they could fix. Now, there was a wide open X there. He's going to scramble out. Oh, this is terrible. This happened a ton. Zones, the thing is, like, I think the lack of pressure, zones break down a ton in Madden 17. This is another example. This happened a lot. If you can roll out of the pocket, get this wide receiver, they break up field. Like, the zone players just don't play with it. You got to go user this player. You got to click right stick to have your computer go after him and user this Y. So you look at him, he drifts off to the side. He's anticipating the other guy coming through his zone and doesn't see the guy going over his head. Now, that's a huge CPU fault right there. That happened a ton in 17. In 18, it looks just to be just as bad. So rollout quarterbacks, scrambling quarterbacks seem to be the move. The user misplayed that because he blitzed a lot of people, and he just threw it right past. Again, the user doesn't get those spectacular animations. There we go. Chuck it deep. What's going to happen here? How are we doing? And we're picking it this time. All right, well, 1-1 for the spec catch and the pick when you go up with Y. That's what I'd like to call balance. There's another one. I wouldn't say the zone played bad there. They just threaded in there perfectly past the user and whatnot. There again, the stop and go against cover 2. That's going to be pretty meta, I think, because it's basically like a playmaker. I think Lights used that exact words when he was talking and breaking down that play. He's Madden daily. But, all right, more passing. There's a user F up again. You can't hit the zones there. He was tackled pretty quickly after the pass by the CPU. Underneath. Okay, yeah, you're going to lose to man coverage with a quick flat route. Flat routes look to be just as punishing. Now, this is a little bit of concern, but it looks like a similar thing up the seams. The user just kind of misplayed it. And so seam routes against cover 3 and those delay or post routes against cover 2. Don't throw it near CPU defenders. That looks to be the meta going into 18. Actually, really the meta is going to be stretch on O and looping blitzes. I tweeted out, are looping blitzes going to be back in meta? Because that got through clean. Again, don't throw it near CPU defenders. You're going to get picked, especially by cornerbacks that have high catching. Chris Harris Jr., elite. He's an elite stud. All right, once more, thrown across to the corner, picked again. Yeah, now these aren't like too terrible. I love that we're not seeing CBs drop those, but man, Madden 18's gameplay is going to be rough at the start. Again, another pick. I feel like we're going to have a lot of these at the start of the game until we get those meta plays that can beat zone coverage, man coverage, toasted again by slant route. Nice work. All right, that's all I wanted to break down. Thanks for watching. Call to action. Let me know if you saw anything in the comments, and I'll talk to you later.